Okay. So it's fireworks. Sissy Caffrey said, "Is that okay?" There is where we are. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's firework.
Yes, it's fireworks. So, and
Easy
they all,
said.
yes, there. So imagine that they are about to leave the place. The girls, the young girls with the little boys are leaving, and the fireworks started. And the girl says, "Oh, look, Sissy." This moment is the moment when, remember that Mr. Bloom was masturbating, looking at Gertie. And so the explosion of the fireworks is connected with the explosion in Bloom's, no? At the same time. And they all ran down the strand to see over the houses and the church. Helter skelter, Eddie with the pushcar with baby Boardman in it, and Sissy holding Tommy and Jackie by the hands so they wouldn't fall running. "Come on, Gertie," Sissy called. "It's the bazaar fireworks." But Gertie was adamant. Adamant, I sent you the meaning, yes? She was reluctant to go. She doesn't want to go. She had no intention of being at their beck and call. Another expression, no? To be at somebody's beck and call is to do what the other person tells you. If they could run like roses, she could sit so, she said, she could see from where she was. The eyes that were fastened upon her set her pulses tingling. Why cannot she move? Why doesn't she go? Because the eyes that were fastened upon her, the eyes that were fixed on her, that is, of course, Mr. Bloom's eyes,
yes,
set her pulses tingling. So she felt the pulse, yes, of her heart. She looked at him a moment, meeting his glance, and a light broke in upon her. White hot passion was in that face, passion silent as the grave, and it had made her his. So this is what she feels, no? The passion in his face. At last, they were left alone without the others to pry. Pry, remember, is to spy, and pass remarks, and she knew he could be trusted to the death. Steadfast, a sterling man, a man of inflexible honor to his fingertips. So this is what Gertie thinks about Bloom, no? That she could trust him, that he was a man to be trusted, no? A steadfast, a sterling man. Sterling is a superior man. His hands and face were working, and a tremor went over her. Of course, he was working in his pockets, no, with his hands.
yes, but I didn't understand if she realized what happened with Mr. Bloom during all this time.
It is not very clear.
I didn't know.
It is not very clear. She realizes that he is looking at her in that way, and that, that there is a kind of sexual tension. She feels the sexual tension, obviously.
Yes.
But I don't know if she knows what he is doing really. Because remember that Gertie is a young girl, she's an adolescent, and well, so romantic and so innocent, no?
Yes.
I think that is why Joyce made us see what she's thinking all the time, because we were inside Gertie's head all this time, no? What she thought, what she imagined. And so now we can understand that perhaps she's completely innocent of what he is doing. Although,
yes, and what she thought about him.
yes,
no,
like
yes.
I mean, kind of Vanessa, if you're talking,
if she realized that she was masturbating, their thought.
Claro,
I imagine
He would have reacted.
changing.
Joyce would have made her react if she had been aware of that.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't think she realizes.
She's not aware.
I mean, she feels the tension, the sexual tension is there. That's why she
Yes,
feels this passion, no, and the heart, the beats of her heart and all that. But I don't know if she knows what he's, I mean, actually doing, no?
Mhm.
His hands and face were working, you see? She can see that his hands are working, and the tremor went over her. She leaned back far to look up where the fireworks were, and she caught her knee in her hands so as not to fall back looking up, and there was no one to see, only him. And her when she revealed all her graceful, beautifully shaped legs like that, supple, soft, and delicately rounded. And she seemed to hear the pounding of his heart, his hoarse breathing, because she knew too about the passion of men like that, hot-blooded. Because, and now we are going to see what is it that she knows, and this answers your question, Malena, no?
Yes.
She knows about the novels she reads.
And now we will see that her friend Bertha has told her something. But I mean, what the girls talk among themselves is not, I mean, it's only what they can imagine or hear, but not what they really know, you see? Because here she's talking about horse breathing, no? The way in which he breathes, like that, no? Because Bertha Supple told her once in dead secret and made her swear she'd never say about the gentleman lodger that was staying with them out of the congested district board that had pictures cut out of papers of those skirt dancers and high kickers. I sent you the explanation for this congested district board. There was a campaign in Dublin to make people move from the places where there were too many people. And that is why this gentleman is lodging in Bertha's house, no? He's renting a room. And apparently the girl was surprised because this man had pictures cut out of papers of skirt dancers and high kickers. Serían lo que hoy sería, ¿cómo es? Las que bailan. Claro, no me sale ahora. Las que bailan así.
En el caño.
Claro, algo así. Skirt dancer and high kickers.
Striptease.
Sí, sí. Vedettes le decían antes.
Vedettes.
And she said he used to do something not very nice that you could imagine sometimes in the bed. So this girl, Bertha, had told Gertie and had made her promise not to say anything, that the man with the pictures, looking at the pictures, did something in the bed, something that it was not very nice. But you see, the girls are not very much aware of what the man is doing, no?
Mm-hmm.
But this is Gertie's thinking, no? But this was altogether different from a thing like that, because there was all the difference, because she could almost feel him draw her face to his, and the first quick hot touch of his handsome lips. So you see, Gertie imagines Mr. Bloom kissing her, but they are far away, no? They are in two different parts.
Yes.
Besides, there was absolution, and this is so funny. There was absolution so long as you didn't do the other thing. So before being married. So what is this idea that Gertie had and many other girls had, that there was absolution, no, by the priest? They can be forgiven if they do things, no, as long as you don't do the other thing. So you can you can touch, but you cannot have sex, actual sex, no, before being married. The other things, no, touching and that could be. So that's why this is so funny, no? She could be absolved by the priest as long as she doesn't do the other thing. Me da risa. And there ought to be women priests that would understand without your telling out. So this is also a fantastic thought, no? Gertie thinks that that the confession should be done to women priests, so it would be easier. And Sissy Caffrey too sometimes had that dreamy look in her eyes, so that she too, my dear, and Winnie Rippingham, so mad about actors' photographs, and besides it was on account of that other thing coming on the way it did. On account of that other thing. So she thinks that when Sissy and Winnie, the other girls, become excited, it was on account of menstruation, that other thing, no? So as if menstruation makes you feel, I don't know, more sexually excited. So look at all the I mean, we can say, claro, the imagination and the ridiculous ideas, but we laugh, but I remember when I was, I don't know, 12, 14, that I had friends at school who had very ridiculous ideas.
Yes, and we talk and we invented a lot of things.
Claro, yes, and they said that you shouldn't wash your hair when you were menstruating, and that, no?
Yes.
So many, bueno, I am old, I remember.
The mayonnaise, I remember.
Ah, claro, yes.
You don't have to prepare mayonnaise if you are in your period.
Yes,
period.
Because the mayonnaise was,
the mayonnaise was cut, no?
Claro,
Yeah,
claro.
get rotten.
No, all the things that, and I remember that when I was in the secondary school, so not so long ago, let's say, compared to Joyce, no? Compared to Joyce. So, and Jackie Caffrey shouted to Luke, there was another, and she leaned back. So there was another firework, no? So Jackie is telling her, look, because there is another firework. And she leaned back, of course, with the movement she does when she goes back and she catches her knee with her hands, she is lifting her legs, no, to show more, obviously. And the garters were blue to match. The garters is es como unas medias hasta la rodilla, ¿no? Como unos calzones largos, vamos a decir. Algo así. Were blue to match on account of the transparent, and they all saw it. And they all shouted to look, there it was. And she leaned back ever so far to see the fireworks, and something queer was flying through the air. A soft thing, to and fro, dark. Of course, this is a bird, no, flying. We read it before. There was a bat, no, un murciélago. But
a bat, maybe, yes.
The bat is like a rat, a soft thing, to and fro, dark. But there is a connection between this idea of something flying, no, a bat flying, something soft, and at the same time the fireworks, and at the same time the conclusion of Bloom's masturbation, no, the climax. And she saw a long Roman candle going up over the trees. Of course, this is the firework, no? Up, and in the tense hush, they were all breathless with excitement as it went higher and higher, and she had to lean back more and more to look up after it, high, almost out of sight. And her face was suffused with a divine and entrancing blush from straining back. And he could see her other things too. Name silk knickers, the fabric that caresses the skin, better than those other petty whites, the green 4 and 11, on account of being white, and she let him, and she saw that he saw. And then it went so high, it went out of sight a moment, and she was trembling in every limb from being bent so far back that he had a full view high up above her knee, where no one ever, not even on the swing or waiting, and she wasn't ashamed. And he wasn't either to look in that immodest way like that. because he couldn't resist the sight of the wondrous revealment have offered, like those skirt dancers behaving so immodest before gentlemen looking, and he kept on looking. So you see, this description is fantastic, no? Because her feelings, when she's completely aware that she's showing him all her legs, yes, and the pleasure that she feels, no? And him looking and looking and looking all the time, no? She would fain have cried to him chokingly, held out her snowy, slender arms to him to come, to feel his lips laid on her white brow, the cry of a young girl's love, a little strangled cry rang from her, that cry that has rung through the ages. So again, her love, her attitude is the attitude of romantic love, because what she feels, this sexual attraction and this sexual pleasure, has the let's say the culmination in a kiss on her brow, not on her, on her brow.
Yes.
So she's so innocent. She's it's a girl. I mean, she feels the excitement, but her reaction, her imagination is the imagination of a girl who imagines a man kissing her on the brow.
Yes, it's like a play, like a game.
Yes,
For
it is a
her.
game.
Yes.
Yes,
but
yes.
it is more serious for Bloom's.
Bueno, when you, and now when we read what, up to now we know what she is thinking. When we read what he is thinking, you will be surprised, yes, because we can laugh at Gertie. What she's doing is something innocent, let's say, because she knows she's provoking him, but she doesn't know what can happen. She feels that he's going to come and kiss her on the brow. No?
Yes.
So, completely out of any sexual idea. And when she
It's a
says,
kiss of protection on the brow.
Claro, she's so, and she speaks of a little strangled cry, no? Como she's going to cry, that cry that has rung through the ages, no? This cry of love, finally, the love of my life, no? And then a rocket sprang and bang, shot blind blank, and oh, then the Roman candle burst, and it was like a sigh of oh, and everyone cried, oh, oh, in raptures, and it gushed out of it a stream of rain gold hair threads, and they shed an and they were all greeny, dewy stars falling with golden, oh, so lovely, oh, so soft, sweet, soft. So this description of the fireworks matches, claro, is the description of Bloom's reaction.
Orgasm.
Claro, and the words that, I mean, it is, I mean, this passage is wonderfully written, because you can read it as what people felt when they saw the fireworks, no? Because it could be everyone cried, oh, whoa. But look at the words. It says in raptures, and then it says it gushed out. To gush out es cuando sale, por ejemplo, de una manguera, psh, así fuerte, ¿vieron? Eso es gush. Es la eliminación de un líquido o de un gas, así psh, fuerte. Entonces, it gushed out of it a stream of rain. Stream is connected with water, with a liquid.
Yes.
So
with
although
a little river.
A little what?
River.
Claro, a stream of rain. It could, I mean, it can apply perfectly well to the description of the fireworks when they, you know, start kind of exploding. Like that, no? But the words used and the metaphors used are very telling of the sexual orgasm in the case of Bloom, no? And they were all greeny, dewy stars falling with golden, oh, so lovely, oh, soft, swift, soft. So this description is, I don't know, a work of art, no? Because without saying, it says. Then all melted away dewily in the gray air. All was silent. Again, the choice of words, no? Melt, derretir. Dewily, como el rocío. All was silent. Ah. She glanced at him as she bent forward quickly, a pathetic little glance of piteous protest, of shy reproach, under which he colored like a girl. So now the one who blushes is Mr. Bloom. He was leaning back against the rock behind. Leopold Bloom, for it is he, stands silent with bowed head before those young, guileless eyes. So, you know, he feels ashamed because he realizes that this girl could be his daughter. No? So he stands silent with bowed head before those young, guileless eyes, guileless, without malice. What a brute he had been. So this is again now Mr. Bloom's conscience. What a brute he had been. At it again. So probably he has done this before, no? Because he says at it again. A fair, unsullied soul had called to him, and wretch that he was, how had he answered? So look at this question. That he asks himself, no? A good person, a good soul had called to him, and he, like a wretch, like a bad person, has answered. An utter cad he had been, so he hasn't been a good man, he hasn't been a good person. He of all men. Why does he say he of all men? Well, precisely because he has a daughter, and well, he knows he shouldn't do this. But there was an infinite store of mercy in those eyes. For him too, a word of pardon, even though he had erred and sinned and wandered. So he feels that she forgives him, no? Because should a girl tell? No, 1,000 times no. So the girl shouldn't tell anybody what has happened. And he says, no, that was their secret. Only, wait a second, only bed. But this was altogether different from a thing like that, because there was all the difference. Because she could almost feel him draw her face to his, and the first quick hot touch of his handsome lips. No, sorry, this is a mistake. This is not the, wait. Okay.
That was their secret.
Their secret, theirs. Alone in
Only
the
theirs.
Only theirs. Alone in the hiding twilight. And there was none to know or tell, save the little bat. Ahora tenemos que era un murciélago lo que voló. Save the little bat that flew so softly through the evening to and fro, and little bats don't tell. So Bloom feels that it is their secret, that the girl shouldn't tell anybody. Imagine if the girl goes and tells somebody or a disaster. So it should be their secret, only the bat knows and the bat doesn't tell. Sissy Caffrey whistled, imitating the boys in the football field to show what a great person she was. And then she cried, Gertie, Gertie, we are going, come on, we can see from further up. Gertie had an idea, one of love's little rushes. She slipped a hand into her kerchief pocket and took out the wadding, es como el relleno, ¿sí? And waved in reply, of course, without letting him, and then slipped it back. Wonder if he's too far too. She rose. Was it goodbye? No. She had to go, but they would meet again there, and she would dream of that till then, tomorrow, of her dream of yestereve. So she lets a piece of her handkerchief fall to imagine that they are creating a date for the following day. The girl, of course, she she's in another world, you know, she very innocently. So she drew herself up to her full height. Their souls met in a last lingering glance. This is what she thinks, eh? And the eyes that reached her heart, full of strange shining, hung enraptured on her sweet flower-like face. She half smiled at him wanly, a sweet forgiving smile, a smile that verged on tears, and then they parted. So you see, without talking, but she smiles at him, inviting him, according to her idea, to meet again. Slowly, without looking back, she went down the uneven strand to Cece, to Eddie, to Jackie and Tommy Caffrey, to little baby Boardman. It was darker now, and there were stones and bits of wood on the strand and sleepy seaweed. She walked with a certain quiet dignity characteristic of her, but with care and very slowly because Gertie McDowell was tight boots? No, she's lame. Oh. So now Bloom discovers when the girl goes that she's lame, es coja. So this is, the reaction in Bloom, no? When he sees that the girl has a defect, he says, oh.
This is like, he's disappointed for that.
He's very much disappointed, and now you will see something that is also very cruel. No?
Yes, I was thinking about that. She feels himself as an outsider, but she is also capable of distinguish people and to diminish them.
In what sense?
To reject people that has some disability or some
Yes.
people that is different.
Yes.
In the same way he is rejected
Yes.
by others.
Yes. So
Yes.
this.
At the beginning, I was thinking about he was very open-minded. She fought for the universal right for people and all that. But maybe he's not like this.
No,
But I don't know, because it's his thought, it's not her action. If you thought a young man and he's a lamb, maybe you thought, oh, what a shame.
yes, but
It's
now
not
you will see.
a kind of discrimination or nothing, it's your thoughts. I don't know.
But now
Maybe, or in my opinion, it's a logical
reaction.
thought,
Well,
reaction. I don't know.
Mr. Bloom watched her as she limped away. Limp is when you walk with a difficulty, no? Como cojear. Poor girl. That's why she's left on the shelf and the others did a sprint. This is a very machistic comment. That is why she's left on the shelf. Es como la que la dejaron para vestir santos, ¿sí? To be left on the shelf. And the others did a sprint.
To be left on the shelf es
Claro.
quedarse
Te dejaron,
solterona.
en realidad la traducción sería te dejaron en el estante.
Estante.
Claro.
Nosotros, ¿cómo?
Que la compró.
Y nadie la compró, claro, te dejaron en el estante.
Hay una expresión que no me acuerdo que es parecida en español.
Pero nosotros decimos, la dejaron para vestir santos.
Para vestir santos, sí, pero hay una como te dejaron colgar, no, te dejaron, sí, como que nadie te compró,
claro.
Como decía Malena, sí.
Nadie te invita a bailar, nadie te compró.
Claro.
Well, this is a very machistic comment. They thought something was wrong. No, this is Mr. Bloom. I thought something was wrong by the cut of her jib. Jilted beauty. So this is a beauty, but a beauty that is harmed, una belleza incompleta o lastimada, rota. A defect is 10 times worse in a woman. Oh my God.
Ah,
But makes them polite.
Well, don't forget that he was right at the beginning of the
No,
19th century,
no, of course.
20th century, no?
Of course.
Is the logic,
But this is, I mean,
Yes.
so nasty.
is
A defect
not
is,
our,
a defect is 10 times worse in a woman, but makes them polite, ¿no? You know, qué amable que es, ¿no? Es linda, es muy amable, es muy simpática.
sí, claro.
Es muy agradable, sí.
Muy agradable. Glad I didn't know it when she was on show. How little devil all the same. I wouldn't mind. Curiosity like a nun or a negress or a girl with glasses. So he starts thinking in a very disgusting way about Gertie, no? As if she were curious like a nun or a negress or a girl with glasses. That squinty one is delicate. Near her monthlies, I expect, makes them feel ticklish. Monthlies is the period. So he imagines that the girl was excited because she was near her menstruation, her period. And that, he says, makes them feel ticklish, ¿no? Como que es muy, ¿cómo decimos nosotros? Susceptible. I have such a bad headache. I have such a bad headache today. Where did I put the letter? Again, remember the famous letter, no? Yes, all right. All kinds of crazy longings, licking pennies. Not very nice expression, yes, licking pennies. We have less than a minute. And so we meet again at 4:45 in half an hour. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Licking pennies.
4:45.
Yes.
Okay.
Licking pennies, ¿no? You lick es chupar así como el helado, licking
Yes.
pennies. Girl in Tranquilla convent, that nun told me, like to smell rock oil. Here he starts remembering something that a kind of legend about nuns doing rather strange things because nuns are alone in a convent, no? Virgins go mad in the end, I suppose. Again, another another terrific thought, no? Virgins go mad in the end, I suppose. Sister, how many women in